Hello and welcome back to another Vibes and Frequencies video. Now, if you happen to be new to my channel, I love working with crystals and I love making videos about them, so that's what I got going on up in my space here. This being said, today's video is specifically about questions that people have been asking me. It's been the same question, maybe just phrased slightly differently each time, and it's been, how do I work with crystals? They want me to express how I work with crystals. I decided to make a video about it, and I'm actually going to call it how to activate crystals to get the energy flowing and to start working with them. That's kind of the direction I'm going to take it. So, this being said, I am going to be sharing from my own personal experience. There are many different ways to work with crystals. We are all so different, and there are many different ways that people feel the energy, which I will get into in a bit in the video, but I just want to put that in the beginning. And especially if you have a way that you work with a crystal that is not even close to anything that I mentioned in this video, or even if it is, I would appreciate if you could put it in the comments below. That way I could learn from you, and so could everybody else, and maybe we could pick up on some stuff from each other and get the conversation going. I think that would be really valuable, actually. Please do. Okay, this being said, let's get started. For me, how I work with crystals, the step one is to feel the energy in the first place. Now, I'm going to use an analogy here to express kind of what I mean by this and how you can go about this process if you are struggling to feel the crystal energy, and I'll make this quick in case you already are. So, imagine somebody speaking a completely foreign language pops up next to you, right? Like they're like on a trail. I'm out on a hiking trail. Somebody speaking a completely different language, never heard before, I have no idea what they're saying, starts saying a bunch of stuff to me, and I'm going, They realize I don't speak their language and I can't understand what they're saying. I can't feel their words or their meaning. So it goes, okay, and we both go our separate ways, and I'm left going there, what the heck just happened? Scratching my head, right? I don't even know. This being said, if I spoke a little bit of the language and I started saying a few words back to them that made some sense, and I showed even the slightest bit of comprehension, they may slow down and come to my level and try to converse with me. And if I'm advanced in talking that language as I practice it, then they will also increase the depth of their language and the way that they're expressing themselves to match me. This is exactly how it works with crystals, and I know it's a weird way to say it, but imagine your crystal is speaking a different language, right? Because it is. Every crystal is speaking a different frequency, a different vibration wave, right? So this is the case with them. They're all speaking a different language, and if you don't show any bit of comprehension or any bit of interest in learning the language that they speak, then why would they start talking to you? Why would they say things to you if you're not going to listen and if you don't show any comprehension? Once we show our crystals that we know how to communicate with them, they will in turn start communicating back. And as we keep working with them, our level will raise and they will start to reveal more and more of their dimensions to us. So, you may be thinking to yourself, wow, that sounds cool, Nathan. That actually makes a lot of sense. Or maybe you've had an aha moment, or maybe you just think I'm nuts. Either way is okay. But ultimately, what does this really mean for us? What does this really mean? How do we learn to start speaking the language in the first place? Well, it's all about attention and intention, okay? If we get a crystal and we just expect these things are going to start happening for us, and we just put it on and go about our day and never think about it and never give it any attention at all, then again, your crystal is going to energetically, same as you, interpret that you aren't really interested in manifesting this kind of energy in your life, okay? So it's about exercising the energy that this crystal promotes, because it's just like a muscle. We exercise our muscles, they get stronger. We exercise our language skills, they become more fluent. Everything in life, you practice the guitar, you get better. You can do more stuff on guitar, right? Anyways, the way that we do this with our crystals is, let me give you some examples so we can apply this. This will be fun. Okay, so this is blue kyanite. Now, what we know about blue kyanite, and if you don't know anything about it, that's fine too, because we live in a day and age where you could literally search for anything on the internet and we have massive exposure to any information we want to find. So, when you look into blue kyanite, you'll find that what blue kyanite does, right, what people express it doing, and what the matchup is that everybody seems to agree on, is that blue kyanite is the stone of speaking our truth. It is a throat chakra crystal, so we know that this is the area of energy that is going to be most impacted by blue kyanite for the most part, right? Now we know that this is about speaking our truth. We can read into it, and we can read that people express that maybe it increases your confidence a little bit, helps us to speak our mind, helps us to perform better with public speaking, things like this, right? So what I challenge you to do to begin working with your crystals, if you are struggling to get it started, is to look into this kind of information and then use your imagination. Your imagination is the key to unlock crystals, okay? Now, I'm paraphrasing this, and I've actually taken that part right there from Robert Simmons, who is somebody that is kind of like a sensei to me, even though he has no idea, because I just watch his videos, and he doesn't know I'm here, but anyways, use your imagination. What this means is find yourself, maybe take a seat, maybe do it on a walk, and imagine in your imagination that you are confident, that you are speaking your mind. Imagine yourself speaking publicly, and imagine it being so fluent, so powerful. Everything is just flowing through you. There's so much balance. There's this pulsating energy in your throat. And imagine this while you are with your blue kyanite. Now, you will be imagining this in your mind, but what will be happening inside of your energy body is you will be channeling that feeling. You will be promoting that energy in yourself with your own imagination. Now, once we show with our energy that we know how to feel that way, it's exactly like telling our crystal that we know how to talk to it. Once we show a crystal that we can feel the feeling that they maybe promote, that we can express the energy that they have, they will start talking to us, okay? So this is exactly how I unlock and activate my crystals. And it might sound pretty far out, but I'm telling you right now, it works every single time. Another really quick example, I'll make this one shorter. We got some Congo Citrine here, okay? And this is my favorite piece of citrine. This one's really powerful. This being said, the way to activate perhaps a citrine is to understand that this is about abundance, right? This is about manifestation. When we look into this further, we can maybe see that this is kind of an energy about gratitude and being grateful and feeling kind of fired up about life. And because we are that way, then maybe we start noticing the things that we are able to be grateful for more. Maybe we start attracting more things to be grateful for. And this is why people say it's for abundance, right? So when we know that, how would you activate your citrine? How would you get it to start talking to you and showing you its energy? Well, hold it in your hand, wear it on your neck. Again, be anywhere, on a walk, sitting in your room, whatever, and channel the feeling of gratitude. Channel the feeling of being fired up about life, okay? Imagine any scenario that makes you feel fired up and grateful. And once you are channeling that feeling, release the idea that you have in your mind and your imagination, hold on to the feeling, look at your crystal, give it your attention. And by that, I mean, it's literally just being excited about your crystal. You don't have to sit here and stare at it. Just give it a piece of your energy. Be excited about it, okay? This being said, let's move on to the next part of how I work with crystals. So again, this is all my own personal opinion and my own personal experience. And I want to say real quick before I go into the second part that I mentioned in the beginning how we all maybe feel crystal energy differently. Now, I mean this literally, like I might feel something a little bit different, but I also mean in the way that we interpret and sense it. A lot of us have a different sense that is the most heightened with, maybe we could call it like our energy body, right? So I know some people that they hold a crystal and they just start receiving downloads and messages, almost like they're channeling like a being within the crystal. Me, I literally feel my personality change from a crystal. As soon as I bring it into my life and I put it on, it's like method acting, except it's like energy method acting. Like my energy just switches, and then I start expressing myself from the perspective of the crystal. So I literally feel personality changes. I literally feel energy shifts. Some people, it's a sense. Some people see things. Some people get visions while they're holding a crystal. You see what I'm saying? There's all different ways. So for me to be somebody who feels it in my personality, I'm just going to go ahead and express it from my own perspective, and you could take it in a direction and apply it to yourself, however you feel energy. For me, I'm going to extend on number one into number two and say that the way that I work with crystals is by exercising the muscle of that energy. So I work with Moldavite a lot, right? This is Moldavite, these are Moldavites, so on and so forth. Moldavite to me is the tektite of transformation. Moldavite does a lot for me, and for me what it mostly is about, and this is my own experience again, is about having things come up. It's about confronting the layers of yourself. It's very similar to shadow work. And once you go through these layers, then you come into this place of being closer to yourself and knowing who you truly are. To me, Moldavite it's the crystal to help you realize who you truly are. And it really is this spiritual kind of boost. It's really what put me on the spiritual path. And I know this for a lot of people. So how do I work with Moldavite? Well, I keep it on me. I can hold it in my hand. I can meditate with it. Yes, these are all things that we can do. But the main thing I do to work with my crystals is I just channel that feeling, okay? It's not a matter of like faking it and pretending. It's a matter of, I know that Moldavite is going to bring things up in my life, okay? And I know that that is an opportunity to confront things. So when things come up, what do I do when I'm working with Moldavite? Well, I don't distract myself. I don't do what I might have done before Moldavite, where I would like, I say these examples a lot, but like watch a bunch of TV shows when my life's uncomfortable and try and detach from reality, right? No, I do the opposite. When things come up, I sit there and I really resonate with it. I make myself feel these feelings all full and true. And it's my way of putting myself in the present moment and feeling whatever is truly happening. That is how I work with Moldavite. When things come up that make me uncomfortable, I sit in it and I feel it out. When something comes up that feels really good, I sit in it and I feel it out. Because to me, the way to activate Moldavite is to bring our attention into the present moment. Because that's what I believe actually is what Moldavite is truly doing, is it's kind of bringing our consciousness more forcefully into the present moment. So somebody who's constantly always thinking about what they're going to do later on, all of a sudden, it's kind of more difficult to be thinking about something you might be excited for later because you're feeling all the turmoil of what's going on right now in this moment, perhaps baggage you've been carrying, right? This is how I work with my crystals. When I'm working with my citrine, I work with it by forcefully, and when I say forcefully, I'm not saying like resistance, but I guess what I mean is intentionally. I intentionally maintain an abundance mindset when I'm working with my citrine. I walk around and I think to myself out loud, sometimes I'll even talk to myself, I am so grateful that there is this hiking spot here, right? I am so grateful that within 15 minutes of my house, I can go to like 7 different trails that are completely different scenery. I'm so grateful that I've turned out the way that I am. I'm so grateful that Moldavite has come into my life, right? I'm so grateful that I got amazing sleep last night. You could take it really deep. I'm grateful for, source creation, all kinds of stuff, right? This is how I work with crystals. It's the truth. It might sound very simple and it might sound kind of plain, but to me, this has a lot to do with the way I feel energy and how I manifest it in my life. It's practice. Just like learning to play an instrument, I'm learning to work with crystals, and to become one with a crystal that I'm working with is to live my life from the perspective of that crystal. I teach my crystals like they are teachers, and so they continue to teach me. But I need to be a good student and I need to practice what I'm learning in class, right? Otherwise, my teacher's just going to decide that I'm the one who's going to wear the dunce hat and sit in the corner, right? And my teacher's not going to give me attention anymore. Show that you are willing to learn. Show that you are willing to exercise the information presented to you. And even more valuable information will continue to be presented through the energy of the crystal. And it will shift into your energy field until basically it's like once you learn how to like ride a bike, for instance, forever, right? Once you really get it, you will always be one with it. So that's exactly how I work with crystals. Again, don't forget to share below how you work with crystals. I'm also curious to hear, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I do appreciate you sharing my crystal journeys with me. And, well, I would also appreciate if you would share below, because it would be cool to hear from you how you feel crystal energy. How does it manifest in your life? For example, like I said, I feel actual personality changes. Maybe perhaps you feel something different. I'm curious to hear your perspective and from your own point of view. I think crystals are awesome, and I think the depth to which it can be so different for all of us is just part of the magic of reality. And the last thing I'll say is the place that I feel crystal energy the most is actually because a lot of us feel energy. Sometimes somebody feels something most when they're wearing it. Sometimes, you know, somebody feels crystals and works with them best when they're meditating. For me, I feel crystals best literally when I am walking and holding it in my left palm. That is how I channel into the energy the best. When I'm walking, it helps my mind to focus for some reason. It's just part of my nature, I suppose. And my left palm, holding a crystal here, is the most sensitive place for me, where I can really become one with the energy. And while I'm walking, it's basically just a full-on different universal reality going on in my mind of the perspective of that crystal, and it starts to take over my energy, and it starts to influence me, and that's how I start feeling the personality shifts, and that's when I start practicing the new traits to my personality that I have just learned. So, all this being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it always. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good guy stuff, all that good girl stuff. Okay? And yeah, I will see you in a day for my next video. Thank you all of you who suggested this video. I had fun making this, and yeah. Goodbye. Have a good one. See ya.